Hello, my beauties. Let me check if we are. It looks like we are live. Hello, hello, hello. Hang on, let me move something in. So, this does not matter if you're catching this live because this is going to be a reading that is an anytime reading. Okay, Spirit has been telling me to put out some of these. And so, what does that mean? Okay, I'm looking down because I've got my some crystals here and just getting tuned in for a moment, and perhaps you'd like to do that with me. Get a cup of tea. So, as many of you know, as the regulars know, I don't want this channel to be perceived by YouTube or by viewers as just tarot, right? So I don't want folks tuning in just expecting tarot readings like every day. And so I do them sporadically. Now, what I am interested in and what I bring, as I say, is the wellness and the woo woo. I'm reclaiming the term woo woo. So spirituality and holistic wellness. And so I pulled cards for myself today, and it really felt like this is a message for some of you out there as well. Okay. And again, this can be for any time. As I'm filming this, it's going to be the new moon. So that darkness, that period where we are less, it's like going into a cocoon. It's this idea of being more inward, more meditative, right? The night of the new moon, right? In that darkness. So, but again, this is for any time. If you've read the title, and you resonated, then this may be for you as the collective I'm speaking to. Okay, so I'm going to share with you three cards because the message was very, very clear. And I'm thinking also this is primarily for women. There may be some men or non binary who are tuning into the divine feminine, but I'm going to be sharing from this deck. Okay, let me just check that. Okay, that it's in view. Yeah, the Starseed Oracle, which is very spiritual. I love it. I find it, I really resonate with it. The link will be below. Okay, so the first message, and again, so who is this for? This is for those who are feeling, I don't even, what was the title I put? Because I was already kind of in a state. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the world right now, and the way outside events are transpiring, if you're feeling saddened by um, feeling like humanity is not evolving, the hatred, conflict, um, feeling like humanity is not evolving, the hatred, conflict, the kind of level of public discourse, back and forth, but the real sort of anger directed at groups of people, and you just can feel that low vibration, then this reading may be for you. Okay, so this is the message. All right, ready? And you may want to also journal, get a journal, because I am going to give you the journal prompts, which is what I like about this particular deck. So first I'm going to hold it up. The first card is surrender to the sweetness. And let me, oops, see, guys, yeah, I'm totally dyslexic and I'm seeing things opposite here. So take a good look at this card. Oops. Have you guys noticed iPhones starting to autofocus when you're not asking them to do that? Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so let's talk about it. So Venus energy, pleasure, joy, making love to life, surrender to the sweetness. So again, there's a strong theme. That's why I really felt like, let me go on YouTube and share this. So you're being told, if you are feeling like I described, that you should instead focus on the almost like the Taurus quality in your life. Focus on the pleasure, the like simple joys of like your food, making good food for yourself, all the self care. Again, can be very, very simple, but for many of us, we have stuff right in our house that we could do a nice self care day, right? Taking maybe a nice bath or using essential oils, which I find, I love to work with. So, Venus energy, that feminine energy was very strong in this reading. And I'll actually show you a card I wasn't going to show you, But that's where I was like, there's a strong theme here. So if you are that starseed collective that is just really feeling almost hammered by the outside world right now, you're being told to surrender into the sweetness of life. Don't let that, don't get soured. Okay. And let me go back. So really enjoy the pleasures. Now, this is not saying to go to excess. Okay. Of course, it's not saying, go get drunk. Not at all. And if you truly are a star seed, you'll know that that's not what I mean. It's saying that the your worry about the world is taking you away from your own joy. Okay. And so the author of this deck is saying that this is a sensual, highly feminine card. It's a call to surrender to the sweetness of life. And I really resonated with this because I was getting so swept up in all the negative events, which I want to know what's happening, but and this is where many of you might think this is controversial. If you do, then just please leave the video. This is not spiritually bypassing. This is what I wanted to share. Some of us are here incarnate on earth to be the fighters, to be out in the streets, to be picketing, to be protesting, to basically fight. That is your energy, that is karma, that is sort of the highest manifestation of your soul, is to be here and help have justice prevail and harmony, not just justice in a fiery kind of sword kind of way, but harmony. So some, though, of us, and that's the collective I'm speaking to, what's happening for you is you're very sensitive, and your mission isn't the fighter, it isn't, the orator and the rhetoric. It is more that you bring in and you hold the energy of love and peace. Okay, let me repeat that again. So, this reading that I'm sharing with you is very much, it was a clear message, and wait till you see the next card. It's a clear message that it's not that this isn't your fight, but it's not what you came here for. You came here during this time to hold the love, to be the love, to share, to teach, and to focus on the flip side of the fight. The flip side is holding people with love, teaching, healing, caring. Okay, that will make sense if you are in that group. So get ready. This is the journal prompt, the inquiry for you. Okay. Um, and this definitely is connected with the planet Venus. So, Venusian energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. This is your inquiry. How can you surrender to the sweetness of life? What's one way you can enjoy your life a little more? Because, again, that's going to feel, for those of you I'm talking to, I'm having some chamomile ginger tea. So, focusing on my self care, chamomile, I love it. The ginger, just to warming energy. As we go into winter, that becomes more important. So have your tea. So what can you do to enjoy your life a little more and let it be okay for you to still have joy? And I'm not the only one saying this, because these really dark forces want to almost suck your joy away from you, so you're like a husk. And it's very hard to, especially those of you who are going to be in the fighting category, in the protest, in the taking action category, you still also want to stay present for love in your life, for your family, for your children, for your partner, and do things and do activities that bring that very high vibration, positive energy. Okay. I'm going to give you the second card and you'll start to see the theme. Again, and this is what I pulled for myself, and I realize this will resonate for some of you. Okay. This is the weight of the world card. Let's see if it can focus. I'm going to bring it away. Okay. That was my stomach. Weight of the world, boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. And again, some of you will not be able to understand this message. You will think that I'm saying, talking about spiritual bypassing. No, I'm talking from a higher level even than that. We incarnate, as I said. I really believe and am being told we have different purposes. So you are here for a reason, every one of you. And so those of you who need to hear this message, you need better boundaries. And this is very much me, right? You need boundaries and you need to let it go. This card, it actually says it's beautiful that you care so much about the world. So again, this reading is for people who care deeply about the world. They're not just blocking it out. They're really feeling it, but what I'm saying is it's damaging you. And this is what the card says, let it go. It's not yours to carry. It's not yours to carry. Many of you watching this, to bring it down to a very mundane level, you did not vote for or in any way encourage what's going on now, right? Your spirit, I'm just got the sense of very subtle, lighter, loving, talking about not just not your personality, but your deeper spirit. And so again, it's painful for you to be witnessing this. So this is saying pull back, don't try to carry the weight of the world. Okay, so let me get you the affirmation for that. And anything else that I didn't remember in terms of the card. Yeah. The it's warning also to not just wake up and go right to the bad news, right? When you jump on YouTube or somebody tells you or you see it on your phone, perhaps on your phone, cut off those news alerts. I took it off my phone. I literally hadn't asked for it. And I'm like, why are you sending me these news alerts? 500 people died in some country for, an earthquake or volcano. Actually, got Peru. Um, I didn't ask for it. It's saying first get yourself right, set yourself up right, meditate, pray, do whatever makes you feel good first in the morning, set your own beautiful energy. And then, if you choose to, you can then dive into the world's, just be aware of it, right? But you've already set your energetic tone. Does that make sense? Like you have your beautiful music and you're boundaried, and you're able to then take in, oh, so and so did this, and this calamity happened, and this destruction happened. But don't carry it all, okay? And it also talks about that if you're empty, okay, if we're worn out, and that's why this is not spiritual bypassing. If you're worn out, you cannot help anyone. So, those of you, this is really a direct message to you that you have to take care of yourself because you want to take care of others. Again, so these people who I'm reading for, you watching this, if you resonate, you are a loving person, but you cannot carry the whole weight of the world on your shoulders, and it damages you such that you're not able to be helpful to those who you are meant to help. Okay? And third card, and this is really beautiful, so get ready. So hold on, did I give you? Yes. So the inquiry for this card, for the weight of the world card, is what are you carrying that isn't even yours? What are you carrying that isn't even yours? And again, I'm going to give a quick story. I'm going to change enough details, hanging out with someone recently who was completely oblivious to many of the negative things happening by choice, but oblivious. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, what we don't want to create is, Germany in the 30s, where people went about their lives completely claiming to be unaware that, mass numbers of people were being killed. Okay. Completely unaware. So that's not what I'm talking about. This card is focus on what you can do and on taking care of yourself so you can be of service to the fellow human beings who you are here to help and serve and love and care for. Okay, so I think that's very clear. Third card, and this is beautiful. I love this card. See how the camera's going to focus. Isn't that beautiful? And you guys, you might see a box in the background. I may say more about that. So I remember. Isn't that a beautiful card? Oop. This is so weird. The camera's just doing its own thing. I think that's so interesting. It started doing this. The iPhone. Did anybody ask for this? I was watching somebody else's live, you guys, and it was doing the same thing. I'm like, wow, okay. This is cool. How far out do we not want it to go? Okay. So I just really want you to get the view of this card. I remember It says soul path, the fated life versus the destiny life. There we go. Soul plan. Soul plan. So this beautiful card is talking about there's and like I said, I kept getting this for a period of time. There's the fated life, the life you came in. Maybe you're in a family that has this particular problem. It's run in that family for generations, and or maybe your life is really good. It's kind of boring. It's the fated life, the life you're just born into. And then there's the destiny life, the destiny life. And the destiny life, you can see how it's like little glowing points of light within the figure. The destiny life is the life you feel it wanting to express, okay? You feel it's like your desires that you've had for some time, and you just feel them below the surface of how you want to live. And it may feel very big. It may feel that you don't know how you'll attain that life. You don't know how you'll accomplish it. So this card is urging you and saying, I remember. Okay, so remember what you could have, not just the mundane. So the mundane is the fated life, the mundane, the everyday. I go to work, I do this, I do that, da, 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 and you're a little bit bored. You're pulled back from it. It's not it's not like your dream life. Okay. So this card also, it's saying you have free will. So you have to kind of grab what you want, or at least go for it. Now this is not staying in the divine feminine. It's not talking about hustle for it, but you have to more align with it, right? So if your dream has been to be in France, or your whole life you've been drawn to French things, or maybe it's something related to food. You've really wanted to work with baking and confections, and you make up little recipes. Or maybe it's writing. You've always written since you were a little girl, since you were a little child, and your dream is to be somewhere else and writing. Maybe it's writing poetry, maybe it's writing historical novels. I'm getting that for somebody. Okay, so this is calling you to remember that. This is all part of the same message, the self-care, have better boundaries. It's not just with people, but with the world, right? With intrusions from the outside that do not resonate with your vibration. Okay, vibration is a real thing. The destiny life is the one your soul chooses, and it takes courage and faith. Okay, so you're being invited to step into that. That's part of this whole message. And you may feel that you're at a crossroads, right? Because you're being urged to remember. Don't just go about your day on automatic. That's what I'm saying. You get in the car, you go to work, you do the same thing, you sit next to the same person, you have the same conversation, you have the same lunch, you bring your lunch, you have the same lunch, or you go to the same place where you start to feel it's routine. That's what, again, for the right collective that I'm speaking to, it's like you're being urged to break that. It's like, wake up, just wake up out of that. What's the destiny life, not the fated life? So let me give you the inquiry, and then we'll see if we're going to wrap up. Hey, hi, Mr. Boulay, 585 Neo Soul 75. Hey, Ascending Infinite Goddess. Hello, I love the purple hearts, beautiful. And Prophet Mother, hi. Yes, I mean, it's a dark moon night, so I'm feeling it. Like, I feel it's not even not wanting to do anything. Again, this is as I'm filming it, but this can be, for those of you who discover it later, this can resonate at any time. It's a message. It's like it's sealed. It can be at various times that message is for you. But this new moon energy, it's darkness, and it's a quietness. And like I said, I can feel it. It's a little overcast where I am, but there's a quiet that I feel within that is different than usual. And now you might want to go check some astrologers and see, the moon is in what, because it might also be specific for your chart. But for all of us, also, I want to say there's still some meteors and comets. There's a lot going on in the sky, like literally last night and tonight. Um, And I believe some places you can still see. You might need binoculars, but there were literally, I want to say, three comets going by, which is pretty intense. And the ancients would have felt that was definitely portending change, right? I got chills as I said that. That was last night, I believe, all three. I'm not sure tonight, but if you're interested, I really believe we can also just tune in. If you can safely go outside and sit and there aren't street lights, because if there's street lights, obviously that's the light pollution will interfere with that whole, stellar celestial energy. It does interfere. But for any of you who can go where there's more darkness, um, and kind of and be able to see the stars, right? This is actually the best time at the new moon to be able to really see the stars. So this is your inquiry. What are you being called to do to surrender to your soul's plan? To surrender to your soul's plan. That is a big question. To surrender to your soul's plan. What can you do to figure out what that is? And actually I take that back. It's not figure out, it's remember. So you know it already. So it's not about, oh my God, and I'm a little bit in that energy. I have a sense of, I know what I can feel that soul plan, but I'm feeling a little bit caught on the steps. And I know that's not right, because when you're a magical person, when you are manifesting, and when you're just really tuned into spirit, you will be shown the steps. So I was talking to a girlfriend of mine and she's like, yeah, because it's hard for you because now you don't know, like, what do I do first and what do I do next? And I'm like, okay, but see, and I was happy she said that, because that's not the energy. When things work for me, that's not the energy. It just, my brain doesn't work like that. That's very much the sort of step by step by step energy, which I feel can miss the soul plan. It can get you the mundane plan, absolutely. And truly, in fact, one of the qualities we got, one of the other cards was this. Um, I never get the Queen of Pentacles, like never. So I'm like, oh, I'm finally going to have that. So this reiterates what I was saying. The Queen of Pentacles is a very earthy queen. She's sensual. She's concerned with her life, with beauty, with stability, with order. She is, a hugger. She's loving. She's caring for those around her in her circle, very much nurturing and very like practical. Okay. She could even be boring. So, like I said, I rarely get this. When I get it, it's upside down or the pentacle is falling out of her hands, typically. Right. So it's interesting to get this today. Um, and we also got, there's a card that for Aphrodite, inner goddess. And that's why I really went live. I'm like, this message is very clear. Awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care, and appreciating your divinity. So again, whenever you're watching this message, it's really a strong call to literally like the feminine energy to rest, to care, to nurture yourself. Remember, it's not, the weight of the world is not yours to carry. Okay. You're here for other things to do with the world, but not to be like the, I forget what it is. I think it's Prometheus, where the world is literally on your back. And especially for my viewers, Black women, women of color, I think this is a very, very, we're socialized. We are supposed to, we are a strong Black woman. We're supposed to carry the whole world. We're supposed to nurture the whole world. In fact, I met somebody, and I can say this because I don't think they'll see the channel, who was telling me that a family member was raised by like a Black mammy from the South, like who, instead of the actual mother taking care of the child, it was this woman who just loved and loved and loved on this child that was not her own, in a white family. And it was this Black woman who was just doing all the nurturing, right? That's one of the stereotypes we have. It's one of the older stereotypes, but it's that, yeah, well, your purpose is to care and nurture and overgive and not be compensated. So this is saying that's not so. Okay, and enjoy the sweetness of your life. So I think I'm going to leave it there. Um, There was more to the reading for me, but this theme was just so clear. I was like, wow, 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 wow. And also, actually, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the other cards. I'm not going to show you all of them because I do this complete spread of like the tarot, some oracle decks, all these different ones I do. Um, the other theme has to do with abundance. Some of you, with this theme, it's related to your being able to be abundant, which is not surprising again, because abundance, like universally, is symbolized usually by a woman, and a woman who's pregnant or she's holding a bounty of food, right? In every culture, the any sort of symbol of abundance, it's usually a female figure is shown. And again, food, or she's holding a baby, right? She's got lots of babies. She's able to feed the baby. She's got lots of food. Um, so this message is tied into your abundance because there are definitely cards of abundance. Abundance is pouring into your life. My sense is that this collective, you may not be aware of it because it may be abundance that's your day to day abundance that you're overlooking that you have, right? More than 80% of the world or 60% of the world. You had food. Like today, it's interesting. Like I said, this is coming from my reading. I got food today, right? Went out and got some food. I have all the food I need. I I have the warmth I need. My lights are on. That's what I'm saying. I think for many Americans, Canadians, the Western world, we can take, again, I'm really just channeling this. Many of us are taking for granted the abundance we live in. Do not take for granted the abundance you live in because this has not always been the case. Okay. And also, um, yeah, there's just this ancestral message for you not to do that, not to take for granted that your ancestors did not always have access to this abundance that is now your daily abundance. I'm not talking about winning the lottery. I'm saying, like I'm saying, your fridge is probably full. You have food. You have coffee if you want. You have tea if you want. You have some soda if you want. You have at your fingertips for most of you, many of you that I'm talking to, but we may be overlooking that. Okay. So, yeah, that was my channeled message. And again, this is an anytime message. So I left the title as it is. If you see this 6 months from now, this is still this energy. That's what I mean. It's sealed. It holds this energy for you. Let me just look at some questions or comments before I go. So yeah, I just wanted to pop on. This is live. So if anything went wrong, it can't be fixed. It can't be edited out. Let me see if I forgot anything. Nope, nope. Okay. Not that I see. So yeah, let me see. So I'm so glad, Prophet Mother, you're here. And I love that name, Ascending Infinite Goddess. That's nice. Let's see. Any comments or questions? Homeschooling Mama Magic says, sounds like me. I could be boring. Yes, that Queen of Pentacles. And also, I have to say, I'll keep going a little bit. She does have money on her mind with, again, this whole packet of energy information I'm supposed to share. Behind her is another card of like legacy money. What does that mean? So that means you may be thinking about investments. Remember, I said abundance is there, right? But there's another card that's also very much about family level money, legacy, inheritance, and that it's this isn't predicting it's coming, but more that these are issues. And it's like behind the queen, so she's thinking about it, and there may be issues swirling around about it. And there's also definitely a change coming. Something has ended, and but the major theme was these three because it was so very specific. Let go of what's not your burden to carry. It doesn't mean you're not caring. It is, in fact, for those who are over caring. Okay, so it's not for the person I told you who's just like, oh, what's going on? Oh, what? Oh, I didn't know. No, it's not for people who are willfully oblivious to the suffering of the world. That's not who I'm speaking to here. Okay. And so I really hope it gets to the collective that it's meant to. And as I said, it may not, for some of you, it may not be today. It may not be a couple days. You may see this, like in December. and you need this message from spirit. So I hope this was helpful. The next video I plan on making is I want to film, but I need sunlight for it in the space I want to film it in, or my yoga space. Um, is a energetic practice for the fall season. So combining the it's called do-in, like self massage. We'll do some tapping and maybe do some points with maybe a little bit of stretching. I just want to make a routine for you for health and wellness during the fall season. So that's something I plan to make. But again, I need good light and I need to be in the right mood and not have eaten, not have had a big meal and then necessarily try to film. Um, Consider becoming a channel member. It's a way to support the channel. I think it starts at $4.99. They get a couple of different things each month, whether it's a reading or, and you get to see all the past stuff. So if you join now, you'll see the past recordings. That's some chakra meditations that were really, really good, you guys. The third chakra for this collective, your heart is already very open. Okay, your heart is already very open. So if you become a channel member, what you'd want to look for is my meditation for the third chakra from Manipura, which is very much about personal power. It's very, very strong and overly strong in like people who are in business. So people who are like businessmen, multimillionaires, multi-billionaires, they come from that energy. It's root chakra, yes. Sacral chakra, yes, right? Think about it. Think about all the like powerful men um, that we see in the world now, and we're seeing some of the ugliness behind them if we didn't know that before. It is very much root chakra. It's about the survival, money, and just amassing. This is when it's excess, and also sexuality in excess, right? Out of control. Second chakra, third chakra, power, dominance, telling people what to do, controlling people, and in the negative, harming people simply because you can. Okay, so the chakras have a negative aspect as well in terms of how some people manifest through them. So I'm just saying that third chakra for many of you that I was reading for today, it isn't strong as it should be because the third chakra will assert your personal power and keep you more boundaried. So become a channel member and you'll see. I think I made it a little longer for the channel members. Is a third chakra meditation. So check that out. I think I also have one here on the public channel. I think it's just shorter because I think I made two. So for my members, I was like, let me make it a little longer because I'm, give something because they are doing a monthly membership. Um, so check that out. Third chakra meditation or find another one on YouTube. But that is probably weak on you if this message was for you. You're not going to become a megalomaniac. You're not going to become the bomb people, rape and pillage, drawing your guns. That third chakra to the collective I'm talking to, you may have been you may have dealt with bullying, you may have been abused because I'm talking to very sensitive souls. Okay. And you may not appear to be that. I just got that. For some of you, you may not appear like you're particularly like woo woo and sensitive and oh my gosh, they're allergic to everything and they're very sensitive. But you may be inside and you know it. But my sense is, especially with this Queen of Pentacles, you may just present as, yeah, you've got all your stuff together on the material level, and or it can be that you're developing that because again this collective that would get this message about take care of yourself, surrender into some of the pleasure in life. You could be balancing that Queen of Pentacles workaholism. She can get a little focused on the money and focused on the practical and forget the pleasure potentially. Okay, that's just for some of you. So, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. I think that was it. There's no more new comments coming in. I'm going to end here. Yeah, it's half hour. Wow. 33 minutes. So if you would like a reading, I will put a fresh link below. I had taken down the page where readings could have been booked. I'm going to put it back up. Give me, by the time you see this, maybe a couple of hours after, I will have it set up. So if you would like a reading, I am getting better and better and more tuned in. And most readers don't say that, but it's true over time and with the spiritual practices I'm doing, getting more and more tuned in. But I've always been tuned in. I think I didn't so much have faith and trust in my abilities, but I'm seeing it, and really stepping into it. And I will have this up for a certain time. And then if I get too busy or have turned to other things, I might take the link down. So if you're interested in getting a reading, um, they're like 55 minutes, an hour. I have to fight not to go over too long. Okay. But you'll check the link, will be below in a couple hours. All right. I think that is it. I didn't bring my meditation bell to like ding. And thank you so much for subscribing. Just subscribe. That is absolutely free. Please, it helps the channel. I think I'm 300 short of hitting 30,000. Or strangely, it's been stalled. So I don't know. I do wonder if there's something with YouTube because it's just like it is weird. It's just weird. Um, been there like for a long time. I'll gain some and then they do, if there's any bots or anything, they take those subscribers off. They're like fake. So please subscribe. Thank you so much for doing that. It really helps the channel. Any comments or questions, let me know if this resonated for you. And the last card that I remember, your inquiry was, what are you being called to do to surrender to your soul's plan? Okay? All right. Much love. Bye bye.